I want to quickly add to my video on writing with nouns and verbs for anybody who teaches. I use this activity to illustrate the concept of writing with nouns and verbs when I teach to college students. And you could use this with college students. I think you could use it with high school students, maybe even younger. In fact, I'm pretty sure you could. So what I do is I have the students bring in lyrics to a song that they like, and I let them pick whatever song that appeals to them. I just tell them to choose the song based on the lyrics, more so than picking the song based on the melody. And then I have them bring either a printout, or if we are working in a computer lab, I tell them they can bring a link to the lyrics or bring them in a document or copy and paste them into an email, whatever way works for them. And I just let them know if they bring a printout, they can work with a pen and paper. If they bring it on the computer, they'll be working on the computer. And then once they're in class, I don't tell them what direction we're going. I don't tell them that we're going to be working with nouns and verbs. I just tell them to get out their song lyrics. And I have them, first I remind them what a noun is. So I'll ask them, does somebody feel comfortable enough with the concept of a noun to explain it to the class? And then we'll usually get into a discussion of what is a noun? A noun, is a person, place, or thing. What does that mean? Does that include proper nouns? Does that include pronouns? So we get into a good discussion that way, and it's a good reminder for everyone. And then I will have them mark all the nouns in the song some way. So they'll either underline them, circle them, highlight them if they're on the computer, however they want to mark the nouns. And I try to be really open about ask questions. Ask me, ask the person next to you, and I let them know that, every time I do this activity myself, I usually will practice with a song that I like and bring it into the class too. There's always words that trip me up, especially because with songs, you're dealing with poetry, and a lot of people who write songs will use words in unusual ways. So I try to make them feel really comfortable to ask questions. A lot of people, I think, feel weird if they're not 100% certain on what a noun is, but it's not easy. This stuff we're taught to think we should 100% know what a noun is, but some of the examples are difficult. And then I'll remind them that a contraction is usually a place to look for a hidden noun. So if they see it's, probably the it part of it's is a noun. So I'll give them a few pointers like that. And then I give them plenty of time to work through it. Once they've done that, I'll then go through the same thing with verbs, ask them if somebody feels comfortable defining a verb. We'll talk about it a little bit, and then I'll have them find a different way to mark verbs. So they had circled last time, this time underline. If you'd highlighted in yellow on your screen, highlight in pink this time. So then we'll go through and we'll mark all the verbs. And if I have a lot of time left in class, if class time is going well, we've got lots of time left, I'll have them also go through and mark adjectives. So we'll do the same thing for adjectives. And once that's all done, then I'll have them sit back and look at the entire document, and I'll ask them, what do you notice about this document that you're looking at? What do you notice about the nouns and verbs in this document? And I'll give them some time to process it and sit with it, because what I'm asking them to come up with is really obvious. So it usually takes somebody a little bit of courage to step out and say, there's a lot of them, right? What I'm looking for them to say is, there's a lot of nouns and verbs in this document, which feels like a super obvious conclusion to draw. So it takes a courageous person, or it might take someone a few seconds to come up with that. But so I give them some time to sit there in silence until that moment is reached. But it ends up being a really effective activity for me. And I like using the song lyrics because almost everybody has a song that they resonate with, and it gives them a chance to bring their personalities to class a little bit, to start to feel invested in the class. And I do this early in the quarter so they feel like they're bringing their true self to class really early in the quarter. And it's much more approachable for them and easier for them to draw from than asking them to bring a piece of literature or a piece of poetry that they resonate with. And if people forget to bring their song lyrics, they can easily pull something up online once they get to class. And I'll share an example of how this works here, just showing you on my screen. I did one just trying to find something that is in the public domain. I did this with the children's song, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. So here's Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And then I highlighted the verbs in yellow and the nouns in red. And so you can see the cumulative effect of all this when the entire exercise is done is, wow, there's a lot of nouns and verbs in that song. And so one of the conclusions, or one of the points I make to the students when it's all done is, you picked this piece of writing. Presumably this is a piece of writing that impacted you, that resonated with you in one way or another. And maybe part of why that resonated with you is because the author used a lot of nouns and verbs. So hopefully they take away from the exercise that the idea that, oh, it is powerful writing to use nouns and verbs. So I hope that activity is helpful for you. I always like hearing ideas from other teachers, and you are welcome to steal that. And if you have other ideas or that you use or that inspires you to think of other things, I'd love hearing ideas from you too. Thank you.